Have you heard about Pi Network? It's this crypto project that basically promised to put a money printing machine right in your pocket. All you had to do was download an app and tap a button once a day. Sounds a little too good to be true, right? Well, that's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? It's a question that pulled in millions of people and started a huge debate. You've got some of the early folks who swear they made life-changing money, and then you've got a whole lot of others who were left holding an empty bag. So what is really going on here? All right, so let's get into it. To really understand the massive hype, you have to look at the bull case. The incredible promise that got everyone so fired up in the first place. And when we talk about hype, you have to start with the sheer scale of this thing. Pi Network's biggest strength has always been its gigantic community. We're talking over 4.3 million followers on X alone. That is one of the biggest, most active followings in the entire crypto world. And for a little while there, it looked like all that belief was gonna pay off big time. Right after it launched, the price of a single Pi token just skyrocketed. It hit an all-time high of nearly $230. That created this huge wave of excitement and a mind-boggling valuation. And get this, at its absolute peak, that price surge meant the whole Pi network was valued at an incredible $18 billion. Just think about that for a second. This little app you tap on your phone was, for a moment, playing in the same league as the top 20 crypto projects on the planet. The dream felt very, very real. And for a few lucky people, the dream was real. Some of the early miners actually managed to cash out. They made thousands of dollars just for believing in a project from the beginning. And, stories like that, that's pure rocket fuel for hype. It made it feel like, hey, anyone could get rich doing this. And the magic of it all was how simple it was. No complicated, expensive computer hardware, no cost to get started. You just download an app, you press a button once a day, and boom, you're mining. You're earning free Pi. That's why it exploded. It was just so incredibly easy for anyone and everyone to jump in. Okay, but that's the dream. That's the promise. It's only half the story. Because for every one of those success stories, there are, countless others filled with frustration. And that brings us to the bear case, the harsh reality check that so many users are facing right now. And the first dose of that reality, just look at the price. From that absolutely dizzying high of nearly $230, the token has just completely collapsed. It's trading for pennies now. The vast, vast majority of its value has just, poof, vanished. And this is where the dream really turned into a nightmare for a lot of people. Just try to imagine this. You've mined almost 56,500 Pi tokens. At the peak price, you're sitting on an absolute fortune. But when you finally go to sell, nothing. Zero. The tokens were locked up, and that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity just disappeared. And the sad thing is, his story is not unique at all. The frustrations just kept piling up. So many people had locked up their tokens to try and boost their mining rate, which meant they were totally stuck on the sidelines when the hype was at its peak. Then, engagement starts to drop off. Development feels like it's stalled. And to top it all off, some people can't even claim the coins they mined because of all these hurdles with identity verification. So you end up with these two completely opposite stories. On one side, Pi was this revolutionary project with millions of users that made some people rich. On the other, it was this overhyped idea with a falling price that left most people with worthless tokens they couldn't even sell. So which one is it? The crazy answer is, it seems to be both. In this conflict, this paradox, it created a fundamental, almost impossible problem for the project's developers. It's a problem we can call the seller's dilemma. So to get this, we just need a super quick lesson on something called sell pressure. It's a really simple idea. It's just what happens when way, way more people want to sell something than there are people who want to buy it. And when that happens, the price only has one way to go, down. Usually dramatically. Which brings us right back to the core problem for Pi Network. You've got this entire community demanding that the developers unlock their coins. But what do you think happens to the price of something when millions of people who've been waiting for years all get the ability to sell at the exact same time? Yeah, this is the project's big catch-22. If they release more coins to people's wallets, a process they call a migration, that massive wave of selling would almost certainly crash the price to zero. But if they don't release the coins, the community just gets more and more frustrated and loses all faith in the project. It's a perfect vicious cycle. The community demands their coins. The developers know that most people will just sell them immediately, which would absolutely tank the price. So they delay. But the delay just makes the community angrier and even more desperate to sell. They are completely and totally trapped. So with this huge, maybe even unsolvable dilemma right at its heart, where does Pi Network even go from here? What could the future possibly hold for this project? When you really step back and look at it, Pi Network has become this massive social and economic experiment. It absolutely proved that you can build a community of millions with a very simple idea. But now it's at this critical crossroads, and the real test is whether that community can actually survive now that the initial promise of easy money has pretty much faded away. And this leaves us with one final big thought. The project has an enormous user base, but critics will tell you it has no compelling, real-world use case to justify its existence or create any real demand from buyers. So the question becomes, which one is going to run out first? The community's patience or the developer's time to deliver a real reason for people to believe again?